igniting curiosity across depots, command centers, and beyond. Welcome to your weekly Depot AI Brief, where emerging AI meets mission-ready insights.
Yeah, glad to be here.
This is episode 16, AI Innovations Transforming Army Operations. Today, we're breaking down exactly how these AI updates impact our four core roles, from the shop floor to the executive suite. And we'll wrap up with key highlights and insights on the commercial tools flashing on our industry radar.
And, when you look at the intelligence stack we are deep diving into today, the sheer scale of what is happening across the organic industrial base is, it's honestly staggering.
It really is.
Right, because we are tracking everything from like a multi-billion-dollar Pentagon budget request all the way down to a highly specialized aviation maintenance dashboard.
Right.
Artificial intelligence is, well, it's no longer just some theoretical concept floating around in a server room somewhere. It is an active mechanism. It's reshaping operations, whether you are, under the hood of a helicopter or sitting in the boardroom analyzing readiness metrics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the most logical place to start this deep dive is right where the physical work happens.
The shop floor.
Exactly, the shop floor. So the sources highlight this recent U.S. Army Challenge winner that specifically targets what they call maintenance data chaos in aviation depot maintenance.
Oh, yeah. Chaos is definitely the right word for it.
Right. Now, anyone who has spent time trying to, track down a part number across 3 different completely disconnected legacy databases knows exactly what that chaos feels like. But how is this new AI solution actually solving that friction?
Well, it solves it by acting as a sort of universal translator for all those fragmented systems. Because historically, a mechanic has to pull supply levels from one database, right?
Yeah.
Then they get labor hours from some spreadsheet, and then cost execution data from a completely separate financial system.
Which takes forever.
Exactly. So what this winning AI architecture does is it actually scrapes and correlates those disparate data streams into a single live view. But, the more profound shift is happening with Palantir's new predictive maintenance models. They are utilizing a modular open systems approach to move beyond just organizing the present, and they're starting to actually calculate the future health of the equipment.
Good. Let's unpack this because I want to push on that mechanism for a second. The tech industry loves throwing around terms like digital co-pilot to describe, basically anything with an algorithm.
Right, yeah. It's a buzzword.
Exactly. But if I'm on the floor turning wrenches at CCAD or working under AMCOM, does this act like a digital co-pilot that knows a part is failing before it actually breaks? It sounds more like seismic monitoring for metal or something.
That is actually a much more accurate way to look at it. It is not waiting for the earthquake, right? Like the catastrophic failure of a rotor component.
Right, which we obviously want to avoid.
Exactly. It is reading the microtremors in the telemetry. So the AI analyzes historical wear patterns, heat signatures, and vibration frequencies from thousands of past flights. And it compares that massive data set against the live data coming off the aircraft sitting right in front of you.
So it spots the tiny differences.
Yes. It identifies the microscopic deviations and flags that, hey, this specific gear will fail in the next 50 flight hours, allowing the artisan to just order the replacement part today.
See, that's huge. It shifts the entire posture from reactive fixing to proactive readiness.
Right.
But here is the immediate friction point for anyone working in a secure facility.
The security side of things.
Right. The moment you mention a slick new predictive app, the immediate thought is cybersecurity. Because mechanics can't just, download rogue third-party software onto their personal phones to run diagnostics on military hardware.
And they absolutely should not.
Right.
The briefings are very clear about how this integrates with our authorized Big Four tools. Mechanics don't need rogue apps. They can access these live predictive views securely within Army Vantage.
Which is fully authorized.
Exactly. That operates inside the IL5 Impact Level 5 environment. Impact Level 5 is specifically built to handle highly sensitive, controlled, unclassified information securely. So the Artisan gets all the predictive power of the AI without stepping outside the bounds of authorized network security.
Okay, so the data is secure, and the mechanic is ordering a part before the bird even breaks.
No.
But that data doesn't just sit in a silo, right? It ripples up the chain.
Oh, completely.
From fixing the aircraft to planning the mission, how does that data empower our data crunchers? An analyst looking at the battle space now knows exactly which aircraft are fully mission capable without waiting for some manual morning report.
Yeah, and this is where we transition into the analyst role. Militaries are demanding what the sources call advice engines for commanders in battle.
Advice engines, okay.
Because the battle space environment has just become too complex. It's generating a volume of sensor data that human analysts simply cannot process in real time.
It's just too much noise.
Right. So AI agents integrated into Palantir Vantage are now being deployed to detect patterns in that noise that humans might miss. And specifically, they are being used to accelerate the MDMP.
The military decision-making process.
Yes, exactly. Accelerating that mission analysis phase.
Now, anyone who has survived the mission analysis phase of the MDMP knows it usually involves a lot of bad coffee, staring at map overlays, and cross-referencing giant spreadsheets.
So many spreadsheets.
Right. It is the gold standard for tactical planning, but the friction is that it takes a massive amount of time.
Well, the intelligence indicates that Palantir's AI integration is cutting those MDMP timelines by 60%.
Wait, really?
Yeah, 60%. It achieves this by simultaneously ingesting terrain data, weather forecasts, enemy disposition reports, and, the real-time readiness data we just talked about from the Artisans.
Okay, I have to push back gently here. The sources say AI cuts MDMP timelines by 60%. But when we're moving that fast, do we lose accuracy? I mean, an AI hallucinating a weather pattern or a unit's location is a fatal error when we're talking about tactical planning.
That's a totally valid concern, but the source material explicitly addresses that exact point. The integration ensures what they call doctrinal precision.
Doctrinal precision.
Right. The AI isn't tasked with making tactical judgments or hallucinating a strategy. It's doing the heavy lifting of data correlation. So it strictly adheres to Army doctrine while cross-referencing all those vast data sets.
Oh, I see. So it's doing the tedious mechanical part of the analysis. Formatting grid coordinates, aligning availability with weather reports, flagging bottlenecks, all by the book.
Exactly. It compiles the puzzle pieces instantly. The AI is an advice engine, so it presents the correlated data so the analyst can focus their finite mental energy on actual strategy.
Analyzing intent, weighing options.
Right, rather than spending 3 hours trying to manually reconcile two conflicting spreadsheets.
Well, that definitely elevates the analyst's role. But analyzing the mission is one thing, right? Making sure you have the right people on shift to execute it is another.
Oh, yeah. Manpower is always the bottleneck.
Which brings us to the supervisor.
Yeah.
You can have a brilliant lightning-fast tactical plan, but if the personnel aren't there,
It falls apart. And the briefings actually highlight several workforce management trends slated for 2026. There's a specific report detailing 6 tools to streamline work in 2026, projecting that AI will soon fully automate scheduling by factoring in seasonal fluctuations, peak periods, and individual qualifications.
okay, let's break down the how of that. Rostering is notoriously painful. You have leave requests, mandatory rest periods, union rules, suddenly someone's sick. How does an AI actually process all that? Most people think of AI as, a chatbot that writes emails.
Right, not a logistical planner. Well, LLMs, large language models, are essentially just advanced pattern recognition engines. When applied to scheduling, they can parse unstructured data, like a messy Excel sheet with a random note buried in column G saying a mechanic has a dental appointment next Tuesday. The AI turns that into structured logic. It weighs that variable against the requirement to have 3 certified inspectors on the floor and automatically generates a balanced roster.
But again, we hit the security wall here because a supervisor at a depot cannot just upload a team's roster, complete with names and schedules, into some random commercial scheduling app they found online.
No, absolutely not. Those commercial applications are strictly prohibited on DoD networks.
Right.
However, supervisors can achieve this capability today using authorized tools. They can leverage Ask Sage or Microsoft Copilot.
Okay.
So a supervisor can take their complex roster spreadsheet, feed it into Ask Sage within the secure environment, and just use conversational prompts. You could instruct it, hey, analyze this roster against next week's flight schedule, identify any shifts where we lack a level 3 certified inspector, and balance the overtime hours.
So what does this all mean for the team lead? It sounds like we're turning a 3-hour spreadsheet nightmare into a simple conversation with Ask Sage.
Exactly. It cuts through the administrative red tape securely. The supervisor gets to reclaim their bandwidth and actually be out on the floor mentoring their team.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So rolling up these localized deficiencies to the 30,000-foot view, how is the top brass budgeting for and steering this ship?
Well, the executive suite is definitely steering toward a new paradigm. The Pentagon has put forward a massive $54 billion budget request for artificial intelligence and autonomous systems.
$54 billion.
Yeah. It signals a definitive pivot toward an AI-powered war framework across air, land, and sea domains.
And as part of that strategic pivot, the briefings also touch on the intersection of commercial innovation and defense policy.
Too, yeah.
There was some recent news regarding Donald Trump stating that the AI company Anthropic is shaping up and that a deal is possible for Department of Defense use. Now, looking at this completely impartially, strictly as a matter of policy discussion, why is there such a push to bring advanced commercial models into the DoD?
It really comes down to parameter scale and development speed. The commercial sector is pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into training these massive large language models.
Right.
Companies like Anthropic are building reasoning engines that iterate almost monthly. So the defense sector recognizes the strategic interest in bringing advanced commercial models into the DoD rather than trying to build every single foundational model from scratch internally.
But executives can't just wait around for potential deals for new LLMs, right? They have a readiness mission today.
They do. And while they wait, they can strategically drive AI adoption right now using GenAI.mil. It provides a secure, authorized sandbox to safely explore generative AI capabilities.
Yeah.
Executives can build that AI literacy within their ranks immediately.
But with $54 billion on the line, how does a commander measure the ROI of something as abstract as AI?
Well, the ROI isn't abstract at all. It's measured through cascading effects.
How so?
You measure it in the Artisan's equipment availability because predictive maintenance caught a failure early. You measure it in the Analyst's 60% faster planning times. You measure it when the supervisor is back on the floor instead of wrestling with spreadsheets.
Right. It all connects. Well, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's look beyond the gates at what's flashing on our industry radar.
Okay, let's do it.
We're seeing the civilian future of workforce scheduling, where AI and ML machine learning algorithms predict future demand. How is predictive staffing different from what Ask Sage does with a roster?
So predictive staffing actively identifies complex historical patterns to forecast future demand before it happens. It analyzes things like weather forecasts and local economic events from 3 years ago to tell a manager, hey, expect a 20% spike in this specific maintenance work next Thursday.
Wow, predicting the workload itself. And there's another development on the radar, right? Cognizant introduced something.
Yes, Cognizant introduced an AI platform called SkillSpring. It's designed to propel workforce training through highly personalized learning across massive organizations.
So it adapts to the user. Instead of generic training, the AI maps the specific competencies of each individual employee.
Exactly. But I have to jump in here. As a reminder, these are home lab or industry awareness tools only. They are not currently authorized for CUI-controlled unclassified information or depot networks.
Right, very important distinction. We watch the commercial sector to understand the trajectory, but we execute using authorized tools.
Exactly.
Which leaves me with one final thought to ponder. If AI is eventually optimizing everything from helicopter parts to personalized training, what happens to the gut instinct of a seasoned mechanic or commander? Will we learn to trust the machine, or will the human sixth sense become our most valuable asset?
From predicting maintenance needs on the shop floor to securing a $54 billion strategy for future readiness, AI is systematically upgrading every single layer of Army operations.
Thanks for joining us. Whether you're turning wrenches in the hangars or crunching numbers for the command team, you are the engine that keeps Army aviation ready. Stay safe, stay innovative, and we'll see you on the next Depot AI Brief.